Currently, we'd like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Serjov, who founded and serves as president of the Alma Israeli Research and Education Facility, and also worked in intelligence for the IDF. We'll get there after 15 years in the Corps later, but I want to start now. If I may hear any of the Hamas's music here, the plan included holding prisoners and civilians. And naturally, there is worry that Israel has more terrorists who are implanted there, ready to grab more captives right now. How does this affect Israeli policy? How do defense forces retaliate? The captives are returned home. I want to start carefully, please. Question. Sorry, I just saw your H titles. When HJ is shown here on the screen, attacked the USA in Persian, who declared war on Japan or harbor. This is a declaration of war for the United States. Terrorists, war groups that are receiving orders. Iran's hostility against the State of Israel is not an act of war against the State of Israel immediately. I'll respond to your question about what the retribution is for. The counterattack ought to be as large as you can to create a very clear message has been sent to Hamas. The word that this is for Kisp up north is unacceptable. 600 Israelis may have been slaughtered. It also implies that each Israeli is aware of someone who was murdered. We are all carrying the dead. Nobody awoke yesterday. Everyone is hired, and everyone in this room is next to shelters that serve as our whole communities are being rescued from the southern region, both from the southern border and the northern family on the border were massacred in their IDF, which is currently taking measures to ensure that it will be capable of achieving Iran's objective scenario with several fronts against the state, a scenario where the Iranians attack Israel the last 2 weeks to make the preparations myself for years, thusly on the border establishing military roles after me daily, and IDF troops in the past 2 years of United Nations opposition resolutions of the Security Council that were made previously. I mean on the border with Lebanon. I'm addressing you. Border with Lebanon is 12 miles away. Additionally, we face danger here, so this was crucial for me to do. Clarify. I appreciate that, too, so considering what you've just told me, I don't ask any questions for you at that time. Using any accusing overtones whatsoever, you cited your experience as an IDF member. I've been following you for a while. A long time ago, they were keeping tabs on you. So how did this assault succeed? To be accomplished in such an unexpected way. Oh, and you also said that. Are you close to Lebanon? You were alarmed to hear Trey Yank's news stating that Hezbollah has already been prepared to leap its horrible head rearing should this conflict occur and expand. How can I fix this huge mess? What steps will you take, and what will IDF do? How to handle this? How are you? Jewish allies, the United States, and some see the next intelligence. I can tell you, officer, to offer and be on guard while the opponent is positioned at the prepared barrier. And throughout the previous 2 weeks, provocations have been seen on the fence in Gaza continuously. This is up until the normalization of the provocations. They finally collide, damaging H safety precautions. In defense H, it's definitely becoming harder and harder to give a particular warning if you don't have tactical knowledge or intelligence about plans to engage in combat, which is what happened. Therefore, I have no idea what took place in this particular instance. These details will become clearer in the future. Of course, there are many unanswered questions here, pertaining to intellect and operationally sound. But, well, I can complete my agreement with the intelligence. The issue we have while discussing a front that was busy and noisy in the recent weeks. In response to your query, we awoke to this in the north as we left to an anti-tank strike in the morning in Kazala against an anti-tank position in the IDF. The rockets launched from a school in Lebanon, not far from the Israeli border. I'm not sure what caused the damage. I am aware that the intended goal was that the focus was dependable, and we are presently kind of an expectation condition in this case. Anticipation of something falling inside of Israel, in the South H, notably H, as you can see from the concluding the neighborhoods and murdering and capturing each and every terrorist who entered, on the other hand, into Israel in anticipation of what will unfold whether North Kazala intends to join Hamas. Similarly to how Hamas did, I must tell you, Hamas is regarded as the younger sibling, while Kissa is Kissa's older brother. Raiden Brigades is the name of a commando force, which are 25 well-trained terrorists or very well versed on from serious civil conflict. And these guys terrorists have been stationed in Israel, border with Lebanon during the previous 2 years. Yes, that is quite alarming. Shortly before I go, would you please know how the IDF may be able to obtain the captives at home without securing or releasing them? I have to inform you, I regret less in this regard. Speaking of Superior H, we even don't know how many people really took this case. Involves a captive and an H never before knowledgeable about 100 captives internationally. Pressure is, I suppose, the necessity for Arab pressure, which is urgent and incredibly important in this context. I think that they are all carrying solely Israeli weapons, probably more citizens there. And we would require assistance in this area is obvious. We will pressure from abroad as required. I can clearly hear you from here. If you love the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.